begin with. So my name, as you said, is Einat Weiss. I joined the Israeli Foreign Ministry roughly 17 years ago.
Wow.
And this is, I've been an ambassador to Rwanda for the last 2 years, and I can't believe because it's gone so fast.
I know.
You know how time is.
Yeah,
It just
time flies.
runs and runs. And I asked to come to Rwanda. It's something I was very much looking for after a tenure in Washington. And
You asked for it.
I really
You were
asked
very
for
specific.
it. Very specific. I was bidding.
You did.
And I'll tell you one thing that I hear from investors. And again, this is always a surprise to me to learn more trivia details about Rwanda, is that because of your location close to the meridian and the altitude and
The terrain.
terrain, all the conditions together, apparently this is an area that can create lots of very unique yields and crops. So that's there where you have lots of potential. With water, we have investors, of course, who want to come and do more around water and sanitation. So I think we can collaborate almost on every possible topic you can think of. I also like Rwandan food a lot.
I
For
was
some
going to ask
reason,
you
Which
that.
Rwandan food have you
I
tasted?
love everything. Isombe.
Have you eaten isombe?
Of
I try not to be there.
course, isombe. But the problem is when they see me, they're like, oh, they give me all, Western food. I said, no. I want local food. It's good.
Have you learned some Kinyarwanda yet?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, which words to be specific?
Oh, well, there's the regular one, of course. So I'm drinking amazi right now. I'm drinking amazi, and I knew how to say a bottle, but of course I forgot a second ago. I keep asking how to say bottle of amazi. I know, of course, maramutse.
Ichupa ya mazi.
Yes, ichupa amazi.
You know what I'm saying?
Of course, maramutse, merewe, marakoze chane. I love your greetings, bites, good morning, hello. So greetings, I know, of course, and I'm picking words. So I'm here and there.
You say ndagukunda?
Yes. And now I learned yesterday how to say a boy. My boy.
Umuhungu.
Umuhungu.
Okay, muhungu wawe.
So we try to use that a lot now.
Does he understand that you mean
Oh,
my
he
son?
knows. My kids know better. They
Kinyarwanda
know
than you.
Kinyarwanda very, very good. I mean, they don't. They know many words, and they're curious, so they keep asking.
And it plays at exactly 16 minutes after 8 o'clock. This is 94.3 Royal FM. It's the heartbeat of Kigali. Good morning. My name is Juliana, together with Angelo. And like we told you, we're going to be hosting the Israeli ambassador to Rwanda. And of course, she's already in studio. We're very excited to actually have her around. Your Excellency, good morning.
Good morning, Juliana. So great being here.
Please come closer.
Yes.
Okay. We are very, very excited to actually have you, Your Excellency.
Me too. I'm extremely excited. Actually, it's my second time here, and I love the studio. So thank you for having me this morning.
We are very, very happy to have you here. And not Weiss, right?
Correct.
Okay.
You did it. You said it correctly.
And not Weiss. Okay. We're very excited. Angela and I are always here every morning from 6 to 10 a.m. And we do nothing but information and good energy for people to wake up as they go to work.
Yeah, I know because I listen, and you're doing a great job.
Wow. Interesting that you listen. Quite amazing.
All right. Tell us more about yourself.
Sure. So again, I'm very grateful being here this morning, and I have to say it's a beautiful studio. So that's to begin with. So my name, as you said, is Einat Weiss. I joined the Israeli Foreign Ministry roughly 17 years ago.
Wow.
And this is, I've been an ambassador to Rwanda for the last 2 years, and I can't believe because it's gone so fast.
I know.
You know how time is.
Yeah,
It just
time flies.
runs and runs. And I asked to come to Rwanda. It's something I was very much looking for after a tenure in Washington. And
You asked for it.
I really
You were
asked
very
for
specific.
it. Very specific. I was bidding.
You literally requested to
I
come.
literally requested.
Wow.
So I had
Why
actually
so?
to compete. It's a very, you don't know, but it's a very popular destination for
Okay.
Israeli diplomats. And I had to bid and to compete. And I was the happiest person when I was actually, when they
Selected.
I was selected and I received this position. And and we can talk about it, but there's a reason why Rwanda is very popular in Israel.
I'm very curious on why you requested to actually come to this destination, Rwanda.
So the thing that people may not know is that in Israel, there are many people who are very well aware of the history of Rwanda, and not only the history but the current situation. And I think for us, there's something in Rwanda that we can very well identify with, and also. You don't live only in the past. You read the news, and Rwanda is emerging as quite a fascinating country in terms of leading the continent, in terms of leading, everything to do with health and tech. But also for us, because I was working in the foreign ministry for many years, we know how much Rwanda has and Israel. We've been in close ties for all these years, and how much mutual support we've had for each other. So all this, combination together, plus, small details like good weather, beautiful views, but
beautiful people.
Beautiful. I should have started with that. The beautiful people.
Yeah.
I sometimes feel that I punch myself. I take it for granted, but no, I don't take it for granted. People, the beautiful people of Rwanda. So that is hindsight. But after coming here, I've become even a bigger fan. And I keep saying it. We call it in Hebrew, it's called under every tree.
Under every tree?
Under every tree. The phrase means that you say it a lot. It's a Hebrew phrase saying that every time you see a tree, you sit under and you say something. So I keep reiterating how wonderful place it is, and that's the one thing that I realize is that I'm here when things are actually happening.
I know.
I'm in the present, not in the has-been country that was built to be a good, great country.
History is made in your presence.
Exactly. So that
and you're part of that making.
I don't know. I mean, I'm very humble
Yes,
about it.
Well, there's a role you're playing in that.
But humbly, in a very, 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 very small part of it. But it happens that I wake up and say, this road wasn't here yesterday. This building wasn't here.
I know.
You see the progress in the making. You see the 9.5 or 10%, increase in GDP in the making. And you see it in Africa. You don't see it necessarily in many other places. So I'm very, very proud and happy to be here.
You just said you've been in diplomatic service for 17 years. And it's beating my understanding. You look so extremely very young. How have you been in this for 17 years?
So I joined quite relatively early, in my early 20s. And I keep saying I fake it, that I look young. It's maybe the genes. It's I need to blame my mom for that. But I think it's 17 years, and it goes, and as someone who works in this job, the time passes fast. 1 year chases the next one, and so it goes fast. But also, I think besides being this work where diplomacy generally, you live in time boxes. 4 years, 4 years, 3 years back home, 4 years.
Does that mean that you actually have 2 more years to go?
I have 2 more years to go.
Oh, that's very little time left.
For sure. But in 2 years, you can do a lot.
Yes.
Look at we've done in 31 years. 2 years could, if you make a lot of it, it can be a lot of time.
Is this your first African country to...
It's my first African tour. I covered Africa when I was working as a political advisor in Washington. I was in charge also of covering U.S.-Africa relations.
Okay.
So it wasn't new to me, the continent, but as living in the continent and living in Africa is my first time. But you know better than me, and I keep also actually telling it to everyone. There is no Africa. I mean, there is Africa, but countries in East Africa do not resemble West Africa. Looking at Africa as one big thing is false. Every country has its uniqueness. There are different cultures that, when you go and live in Rwanda, it has nothing to do like when my colleagues live in somewhere in West Africa or in the southern part of Africa. I think it's important also that people understand that this continent is very varied in cultures, in visions, and I try to look at Rwanda as Rwanda, as part of a continent, of course. It's very important. But when you say living in Africa, it's a very different experience
Wow.
in different countries.
Interesting. Your Excellency, let's talk about the ceasefire that was signed about 3 weeks ago between Israel and Gaza and Palestine, right? What is Israel's long-term vision for peace and coexistence with Palestine after the conflict ends? Because we assume the conflict will end at some point.
So yeah, we're diving deep into the heavy questions.
I know, it's a heavy question. I know.
No, it's a very legitimate. Eventually, this is our reality back home, and this is something we live with on a daily basis. I think we're kind of witnessing a very, I would say, beginning of an interesting era in the Middle East that could bear great potential. And I say could because it depends on how things develop on the ground. As you know, we're still in the process of retrieving bodies, dead basically bodies from Gaza, and it's still an ongoing process as part of the ceasefire. Now, the ceasefire is actually quite a short and simple document, which actually makes me optimistic, because the one thing you learn in this world of diplomacy and politics, the longer documents are and the more convoluted they are, the chances that they will be followed are slimmer. But this one is actually a simple document that really lays down the foundation of future Gaza. And again, just to understand the complexity of this country that we live in, the Palestinians, as they're being called, they're not living in the same thing. There's West Bank in the east and Gaza in the west. And the situation of, I'm talking about Israel right now, southern west of Israel on the Mediterranean. And the situation we've had in the last couple of years was vis-a-vis not the Palestinians, it was vis-a-vis Hamas. And it's very important to stress it because as we talked a little bit before, there is media and there is social media and there is uber social media and there is so much misunderstanding and misinformation going on. And it's very important to say that Israel as a state does not fight the Palestinians. We are fighting against a terror organization called Hamas. And this is a very important, I would say, emphasis, because my country has been in a way in an asymmetric war for these last 2 years. The world, even this area, unfortunately, is facing same situation, the whole world.
Yeah.
We're dealing sometimes with guerrilla terror organization. You don't necessarily deal with a state or an entity that is recognized entity. We're dealing with recognized terror organizations. So this situation we've been to now has come to a ceasefire, which is extremely positive step towards future. How it will look like, there are many, many ideas in this agreement, the treaty, that are stressing what will be the next steps from, of course, recovery and investment and rebuilding and restructure. But that is stipulated also in the document, and it's important to say the basic misunderstanding or miscalculus or whatever you want to call it is that we, as a sovereign country, that its role is to protect its people, cannot live next to an organization. Because what it means, if Hamas is not what we call, it's a very long this tunnel itself, blocks the tunnels, give away his missiles and his weapons and all the things that are necessary. What will happen again is that we're having this same scenario in 4 years, and we cannot allow ourselves. So the plan really says what happens in phase A and phase B, and part of it, there will be economic recovery and economic future, and we definitely support it. Actually, we supported it before October 7, 2023, because Israel was the one who is giving the money and the permits to work in Israel, because we believe, or we want to believe, that you have you should have an economic prosperity. But we did not do before October 23. And what we have to do now is to make sure that Hamas is no longer poses a threat.
Yeah.
So this is all part of the American Qatari, the plan that was signed by the both of the sides. And I want to believe that we're walking on the footstep of this plan. But again, as you know here, plans could either work or not.
Yeah, plans change along
Plans change a lot. And
Yeah.
they need to be enforced. So this is what we hope for. And again, part of it is seeing all our missing and dead bodies from this atrocious attack on October 2023, that at least we give them the respect of bringing them to bureau to bury them back home in Israel.
Yeah, the decent burial.
Yes.
Interesting. How would you describe the current state of diplomatic relations between Rwanda and Israel, and what major milestone have you defined this partnership over the years?
So it's a very good question. And I would say, and again, I say it humbly, but I always have to say things humbly. I think Rwanda globally is one of the countries that bear the most of similarity, unique similarity to Israel in every parameter, which from size to complicated geopolitical situation to history to vision and ambition, and so many, I can count all the similarities. But what that makes the relations between our country also is to bear so much potential and so much, I would say, the warmth and the achievements we've done in this 31 years journey, I think is one of its kind. I mean, we've had many achievements around the world, but it's very unique what we're seeing here. So if you ask me about the situation, I think by and large, Israel and Rwanda have a very good and secure and safe relations. My job is to actually first, as I've been told before I come here, continue. I sometimes you just need not to destroy something or to take it off course. But also, of course, as an ambassador, I always like to make it, to strengthen it. This is the 6th year of this embassy. I'm the second ambassador, the first woman ambassador.
Okay.
And I think my predecessor and me, both of us shared the passion to see these relations go to even the next step. And I can talk a lot about it because this is in my core and in my blood, how we can make it happen. But I think Israel can contribute a lot to the ambition of Rwanda to become the spearhead of the continent in many, many areas.
Very amazing. Your Excellency, let's talk about economic cooperation
Yes.
between Israel and Rwanda. What are the main areas of economic collaboration between Rwanda and Israel, and how do both countries benefit from these partnerships, in particular, for example, technology, trade, and even investment?
So, as a diplomat, we're never satisfied. That's part of the traits you should have.
You were never satisfied?
You always want more.
Yeah.
So I would say that it's going very well, but I would love to see even more. That's the beginning of diplomatic relations. Economic relations. But I would say first thing is, of course, agriculture. And I'm very passionate about it because I believe that Rwanda could be and is in many ways the case study for the continent of how to take agriculture to the 21st century. And that means 100% irrigation. Doesn't matter, drip irrigation, gravity irrigation, but access to irrigation. That means, of course, modernizing the cows industry. It means, in my vision, Rwanda leading generally the dairy sector in the continent, again, per capita, yes, we have to understand.
Yeah.
But we have already a lot of collaboration. If you know about Gabiro, the Netafim project in the northeast.
Yeah.
It's an Israeli company that is behind this. We have many other irrigation projects, and we have some projects with Naib because we believe, again, this is my belief, that Rwanda has the uniqueness to export more and bring more revenue back to the country. So we do work with them a lot. So I would say agriculture by and large is something that we are very good at. And to remind you that if Rwanda is small, Israel is even smaller. So, and we are mainly desert, and we still don't import most of the food we have. We produce, not because we are smarter, because we have to. They say invention is, so necessity is the mother of inventions. We had to invent. And I think Rwanda is going this way. So agriculture, I think, is the area we have a lot. The health and the health tech. And generally, the startup world. Right now, this week, we have a Israel-Rwanda Innovation Week. We have an expert from Israel. We're working with startups with a collaboration with STEM Power.
I think that the graduation is tomorrow.
Yeah. And we work a lot with the Ministry of ICT around Hunger Pitch. Why? Because we recognize, and also our business people recognize, the mindset and the potential here in the country. Personally, I love meeting the youth here. And, it's 60% youth.
Yes.
And again, going back to the leadership of the president, His Excellency Kagame, is that understanding that creating jobs stems from creating entrepreneurial environment. And when I meet the youth here, and this is something we work a lot with, I sit and they show me their vivid ideas, and I'm amazed, because if you put together the ideas plus capital plus some kind of training, then you will have a boom of startups that eventually can create a lot of capital for this country. Now, this is what we've done in Israel. Okay, we're not
similar project.
We are. Our name, we know, we termed the startup nation because the income of the country is based on many, many startups that eventually that have been sold, or they were somehow, they found themselves in the stock market or what have you. But this idea that the country invests in education like you do now and in startups eventually generates money, because the startups then are growing and creating the capital that can come back here to the country. But before talking about even about capital, it's creating jobs. And I think when you meet a startup, let's say, and we have investors coming in a lot to meet these startups, so try to collaborate, then what do they see? An idea that around AI, an idea around smart greenhouse, which I saw this week, an idea around. Today, they're much smarter than us. Sorry,
the young people. Yes.
That's the reality.
It's their age.
It's the age.
It's the era.
It's the era. You see a greenhouse that talks with an AI in the app on the phone. I cannot understand what they're doing in the life of me. But I know they're doing smart. And you see it in Rwanda a lot. It's because you've cultivated it. And this is where we're coming with our business, and we try to collaborate. So when I think about area of collaboration, I can go on and on, but I think almost every other, we also have collaboration around education, and today's smart education.
And that's what gets me to my next question, which is innovation and education, really.
Yes.
Rwanda has positioned itself as an innovation hub in Africa. Are there ongoing collaborations between Israel tech companies or universities and Rwandan institutions to boost innovation and skills development here?
So again, I would love to see even more. I have to start everything, because in my vision, the potential is never ending. But we're already doing quite a lot here. And as I said, this week we're collaborating with STEM Power and universities here. And we're doing this week out of this, but also on regular basis. Well, we have had many in the past, by the way, students, graduates from Rwandan agriculture faculties that went to Israel.
The exchange program.
To exchange program.
Oh.
It's either 11 months. It was an 11 months program where they worked and study in Israel. We do have a lot of exchange programs for masters in Israel, so we're very much pushing on it. But also what I'm thinking all the time, and we're thinking here with the ministry, and is to increase exchange not only of students but maybe professors. And in my vision is to take it next step, and we are thinking a lot about it with universities here, is to take it to the R&D. So I would love to see joint papers of research. I would love to see, the school of thoughts that will be
peer
done together.
reviews.
Peer reviews. So we all the time working around that, and I see an increase. But also Rwanda eventually, and that's talking about education, is investment in treasury and education in TVET is something that I really we work on. We try to do more around it, because I think it's a very fantastic vision, the TVET vision. But I will say about that one more thing, and it's important. This country is very young, but per capita the investment I see in education is quite remarkable. You have a growing population, young population, so it means creating more classes and more. So it also bears many opportunities to take studies online, to think about hybrid. And I see now that the country is so fast, so well connected to the internet. It creates so many opportunities around e-learning. So all these things we're working together, and we talked about innovation. But you're right, this is becoming a hub for innovators to come here.
Absolutely. Your Excellency, we'll take a break.
Yes.
We'll get to play some ads, and then we'll be right back with more questions for you. I hope you're ready for them.
I'm ready. I'm always ready.
All right, we'll be right back. This is Kigali in the Morning, 94.3 Royal FM. This is 94.3 Royal FM indeed. And we are still hosting the ambassador of Israel to Rwanda. Your Excellency, you said you like the song.
Love it. Yes.
Love the song. So what's one of your who's that one favorite artist that you like most?
Oh wow! Look, I like oldies too. I will not lie, from the 80s.
Don't worry, we are old. I'm a millennial, so I understand.
But Beyonce, this song, I like Beyonce. Who cannot like Beyonce? I don't know. He doesn't have heart.
Queen Bee.
But Queen Bee. But also Halo is about it's such an optimistic song. So I like it a lot.
Interesting. Let's dive into another more conversation about security and regional stability, Your Excellency. Rwanda and Israel both place importance in national security and regional stability. How do the two countries cooperate in areas such as counterterrorism intelligence sharing and peacekeeping efforts?
So I think for years we've had good relations of exchanging, of course, information. But I can say that by and large, I take it one step up. The collaboration even is in a mega way, that the fact that both countries are contributing, or let's talk a little bit about Rwanda for a second.
Yeah.
A country that persists, just Google it, but let's say roughly 0.00 some percent of the African continent, and has capability to assist in peacekeeping missions in areas far away from let's say Mozambique, Central Republic of Africa. That shows amazing capability, because the fact that Rwanda is the country that eventually assists stabilizing an area that is much bigger than its size. And the same way, if I compare it to Israel, Israel is, I keep saying, is 0.01% of the Middle East. A very, very tiny country, very noisy, but very, very, very tiny.
Powerful.
Very powerful.
Yes.
But I would say that when we are seeking or pushing to stabilize with ceasefires or to create a better Middle East, is because I believe that just like here, there's a lot of importance that to stabilize an area and to clear it from terror. And by and large, the world is understanding it. If Africa wants to be prosperous, that it needs to be stable.
Yeah.
And when I look at, again, the missions that Rwanda is taking, I find it phenomenal. And that also, of course, requires capabilities. So I think part of the image that Rwanda is having is a tiny country that is very powerful. And that very much reminds me of Israel, a tiny country that is very powerful. It comes, by the way, with a price, okay? When countries are perceived powerful, when they're small and powerful, there's sometimes entities that are more critical or more, or they don't know how to treat us, basically.
They question themselves.
They question how such a tiny countries can. But of course, when we look at collaboration, we always like to share and to talk. And even now, we keep thinking more and more how to share our lessons of October 7. Because when you look at, again, geopolitical area of Rwanda and the borders, a lot of the borders here are what we call natural borders, right? They have a bush, wood, forest, and this is the border. And that creates a lot of course, challenges. What we had in October 7, we had a solid border, but because of many, many things, including gas miscalculation, we did not see what was happening, or we ignored, or we chose to believe we see something different than what we see. So these lessons about border protections, about really dealing with terrorism, is something, of course, that's important. Also, because Rwanda is growing, right, you're building an airport. It means more challenges on protecting the airport. I think you're doing such an amazing job going there. But I'll keep saying we can always share more and we can always talk about challenges, because terror doesn't stop. And so
they're not sleeping.
No, they're not sleeping. I call it virus and antivirus. You come up with new things and they come. But just zooming a little bit on Israel, I really feel important to say it. Because in the war, there were... I keep saying what you don't know about you don't hear in the media about Israel, the stories that are not told. What are the stories that are not told? The stories that are not told, that if Israel did not have this protection of Iron Dome and surface, surface to air protection, the numbers of casualties we would have would be not 10 times more, it would be hundreds and 1,000 times more. And so people come and say, but in Israel, we had the war with it, that it wasn't a war, it was an operation in Iran, I would say, for 12 days. And we had 27 casualties in this operational. But the warheads that Iran sent on Israel, and again, there were warheads that could wipe out half of the neighborhoods here. Or I try to compare it, because we're talking about 500 kilograms, 400 kilograms of warheads. One of the reasons is, again, going back to technology, is that we had missiles that could protect and intercept those missiles shot at us mid-air, out of the atmosphere. Doesn't matter. I'm not going to the physics of it, but the point is that when you have good armies, not what you hear in the news, attacking, is how you're protecting. And I think the first role of an army is to protect. And going back to what you do in the continent, you're protecting people in your peacekeeping missions in places that other countries fail to protect civilians. And this is a story that should be told more about, how many lives you're saving. How many lives you're saving in the future because you're preventing from terror to spreading to other countries by doing what you're doing. So for me, when I hear about what you do, I'm of course very proud, but I'm also thinking about the stories that are not told.
Yes.
If you're not there, what would happen? So this is where I think about more collaboration.
Speaking of, I know Angelo has a burning question, but speaking of technology and how you guys how Israel handles the how to intercept all those bombs and missiles that are sent to you, are we, as Rwanda, actually getting, learning of more of your technology that are we getting a chance to be able to learn?
I think Rwanda is doing amazing. I have this joke, it's an internal joke. I don't know if I should say it on radio, but I say, even enemies you should choose well,
Yes.
as much because
It's an irony.
what we're dealing with in our area is a difference, is monstrous,
It
right?
is.
The arsenal that Iran had wants to do again, aiming to have nuclears, but we're talking about heavy arsenal. And of course, what Rwanda is facing and what this area is different. Every area with its own challenges. But I think I will say, one line. The fact you can go to bed at night knowing that you're protected means that your government is doing what it needs to be done, in order to protect you. And the fact that I go to sleep in my home, the fact that this country is considered safe
Yeah.
for foreigners to come, the fact that tourism is booming again, the fact is because you not only show it, it's not a show, it's a reality that Rwanda is protecting. Now, protection of people, and we talk about borders and missiles. Protections of people boils down to the fact that people can go out in midnight. You take it for granted.
No, you don't.
But in majority of the world, even in countries you don't think about, like say Europeans and others, this is not a reality.
It doesn't happen.
People don't go, and I see Rwanda keep ranking the top in the world. Women's safety, the fact that you just roam out in the streets and you know that you're protected is something that is very unusual.
Yes.
So I think when we talk about army and capabilities, it's a policing capability. It's the fact that you have good intel. These things bring Rwanda to really to be the top. And if you look again in Africa, and again, you have so many visits from leaders, right? We had Senegal, and they come here and they look at Rwanda as a model. I look at the itinerary of the visits, I follow them, and I also talk with my colleagues, ambassadors in the countries to see what there was said in the media there, and there's always around, this is a role model, or this is something we want to copy. So what you do here is not only creating this defense and startups, and you actually inspiring other countries to be better and more peaceful and these things, I think, is again something we don't talk a lot, but that is how you start spearheading a change in a continent.
Yes.
That's quite interesting. You talked about others, and just the other day, Rwanda was ranked safest walk after dark, and it's quite interesting thanks to the security. Mine is going to be on sustainability and the future, or the vision. Looking ahead, what are your Israel priorities, or the vision for the future of Rwanda and Israel relations in the next decade or so, especially in the context of the Africa-Israel relations more broadly?
Wow, there are many things. First, broadly, continent-wise, taking into account that things come down back home, and maybe we'll see more peace negotiations in the Middle East and all this vision we have. I would love to see Israel much more active in the African Union platform. And that's very important because, again, biblically, modern history, Israel is related to Africa. It's the only country with a border with Africa. We have diaspora, a big diaspora from Africa in Israel, but even historically, we were in exile in Egypt for many years. I mean, when you look at the context and the history, we're there. So I would love to see Israel more as part of the union, more collaborations and more relations. But practically about Rwanda and Israel, I would say I want to see Israel being part and parcel of the change here in agriculture, the modernizing. I would love to see us doing lots of projects around this. I would love to see, I'll take one thing, for example. I talk a lot about it, is milk. Because Rwanda is doing tremendous changes, again, in a very short amount of time on this area. But I call milk the white gold. because milk worth a lot of money outside of Rwanda, and the potential of, exporting milk is very high. Milk can go up in the market. It can be traded up to $4 per gallon of milk. Now, in my vision, and again, it's my vision. I go to sleep with it. I wake up right now. It's in my vision, but I work a lot to make it happen. Is that we work together to bring Rwanda to the capacity of milk, which again, the government is doing already, but to work to enhance or to expedite the process by modernizing together the sheds, by bringing better quality of cows, by working on what the government is already working on, better feeding. And in my dream, for example, this is just one small one. I have many dreams, but we take Rwanda in the next few years to be the leader of this in let's say the dairy in EAC, and by that again exporting and bringing more money to the country. So collaboration is from tech on. You go in Israel, you go into a farm. No one milks a cow. You need to be a technician, not a farmer anymore. You press some, today
really?
with AI.
You don't go physical.
No. Nothing is physical. Everything is mechanized. But with AI today, you have a machine that tells you this cow is sick, don't touch it.
Okay.
This cow will probably yield today. They give you rough estimation only by sensors.
The liters it is going to produce.
Liters, which time to optimize the milking, which these things are saving a lot of money. Now, we all don't want to lose jobs, but this create other jobs.
Yes.
So I think, again, my vision, alongside the smallholder, the small farm that can be modernized, also, you have big farms that create, massive milk.
Commercial.
And commercial milk, which you look in already where you are now is incredible. But you have the facilities. And again, the government has done a tremendous job building facilities and collection point. And you're very organized as a country. My God, you're organized. So with that, you can definitely lead. So my dream in one line is that Israel is walking the walk with you, alongside with you, working together in this mutual vision.
Interesting. Your Excellency, I have a question because you're speaking about milk sector and all that. And but we'll get into the news and then probably you'll answer this question when we return. What sectors in Rwanda does Israel see as most attractive for investment? That will be after the news. We're just going to go into the news, and then when we return, you can tell us what are those sectors that Israel is actually seeing potential for investment in Rwanda. Yeah, Aline Sano is one of Your Excellency's favorite artists in Rwanda. You said you love Aline Sano, Your Excellency.
Yeah, I do. I really do. I like her story, and I like it's connected to the story of the country. Young woman creating herself, as they say.
Yeah.
And I love that she keeps releasing more material. She's not stopping. She's like a tornado.
She's unstoppable.
I like the passion. I like the. Again, eventually she's inspiring other young ladies.
Yes.
So I like her story, and she's outgoing. She's not afraid to talk. She's not afraid to say when something is wrong. And this is what we need.
And she's a very down-to-earth human being. And
she's
extremely
beautiful,
talented.
and she has good voice. So
Yes.
I think she has all going for her. So I'm
I need to bring Aline Sano to you.
Yeah,
Looks like you-
I met her. She's fantastic.
You've met her?
She's great.
Okay.
She's fantastic.
Interesting. So before we got into the news, I asked you what sectors in Rwanda does Israel see as most attractive for investment?
So we talked a little bit about agriculture, and I think this is generally a very good sector to invest in. I think there in the health sector, there's a lot of potential because, of course, it's growing because the country is moving rapidly into the cloud and AI. And again, I don't know how much people are following, but I really call it the revolution of digitalization of the country is incredible. And the sphere of cybersecurity, there's a lot of potential in the sphere of, AI, technology, of course. So that's where we mainly see people that are interested to come. There's real estate that is booming. I think everything you tap almost, you have a potential of investment. We even have investors that are interested again in e-learning. We have investors who are interested in ICT a lot. So by and large, this is the areas where we see people that are coming. Irrigation, we talked about it. This is our forte. And also investors who are coming and, for example, we have an investor who is going to create the blueberries sector here, which is, when you think about it, is quite genius because the worth of blueberries in the market, in the world, is very high. And I'll tell you one thing that I hear from investors, and again, this is always a surprise to me to learn more trivia details about Rwanda, is that because of your location, close to the meridian and the altitude, and
The terrain.
all the conditions together, apparently, this is an area that can create lots of very unique yields and crops. So that's there where you have lots of potential. With water, we have investors, of course, who want to come and do more around water and sanitation. So I think we can collaborate almost on every possible topic you can think of.
Your Excellency, when you're not busy with your diplomatic duties, what do you like to do in your free time?
What is free time? No, I'm kidding.
When do you have that time? Your me time?
I'm kidding. So I have toddlers. I have twins. We just talked about it briefly. And they're taking a lot of my time in a positive way, of course. They're keeping me young. You ask me why do I look young? They're keeping me young. I see you also look full of life. Having a toddler. But I like hiking and traveling. We travel a lot. I try to hike.
Where do you hike in Rwanda when you're in Kigali?
So there is a lovely Rwandan who is also director here of one of the coffee, industry. He's a director here, the coffee industry. He's doing a hike from the back up, because in Kigali you can hike everywhere. And you will have a hill, right? So if you want to stay fit, Kigali is the place for you.
Thank you.
So so he's running hike every month with friends, 13 kilometers, just like that.
Wow.
And I learned a lot about the city through hiking. So like hiking, you actually can hike even in the green track, but you can hike also almost on every hill. The Kigali mountain, you have hikes. And I don't know if you've noticed, but talking about, again, change and what's going on, groups of hikers are popping up like mushrooms.
A lot of them.
Because hiking is also a social thing.
Yes.
So you see many
it's
groups
one place
coming in.
It's also a networking place. Yeah.
Amazing. So what they do is they're stitching together trails. And then when you hike, through your feet, you see how beautiful. I mean, you can hike part of Kigali and see all the way to the volcanoes in a good day if you do it early.
Yeah.
It also shows you how, you're eventually small, but the diversity of the country, of the volcanoes, and you have. So I like hiking and I like traveling Rwanda.
Which places have you been in Rwanda, apart from Kigali?
So Akagera, of course.
Okay. Yes.
Nyungwe. Oh my God, I love Nyungwe.
Oh, you've been to Nyungwe first?
That had to be there.
It's beautiful. And everyone talking about, of course, the gorillas is a highlight. But you just enter Nyungwe and bunch of monkeys just jump on you. And it's so
cute.
Virginal and untapped. And when I go to Nyungwe, when I went there, seriously, the first thing I saw, I thought to myself, how amazing this country for preserving
this nature.
Yeah. Because it's untouched. And I was walking on the canopy and I was looking down.
Oh, you did the canopy?
I did the canopy with the kids. With the 3 years
old. Oh, your
old.
kids did the canopy?
They
were not
did
scared?
the canopy. Actually, no. I mean, one of them was a bit, and then he just saw his brother. That's a beauty of twins. And
there you go.
He went.
Those are just like 3 years. How can 3 years old walk through that canopy?
And I looked down.
You did? I would never look down.
But I thought to myself, maybe no human being has been to, what kind of wildlife you're preserving here. And again, that's what I love about this, because you took the gorillas from extinction to 600 or more units. I mean, this what I love that you see nature in this natural setting, and it's the most beautiful setting. So I hiked there. I go Muhazi every other. I love like Muhazi. I think talking about potential. I keep thinking about potential of tourism in Lake Muhazi. It's beautiful, like, and of course you have the Kivu Lake we went, and so we've been all over.
I see you've been everywhere almost.
We try. No, there's always more to discover, yes. But even areas you don't talk about, southern part of Rwanda, is gorgeous. The King's Palace. So
have you been there?
We've been with the kids. They loved it. This area of the southern part, I took it as a personal, I said, no, we have to invest more tourism to go there because it's gorgeous.
It's beautiful.
It's gorgeous. The air is clean. The story of and the history, exactly.
Yeah.
And if you want to learn about the history of Rwanda, I went there and I learned so much.
So do you do the nightlife a little bit, Your Excellency?
No, my nightlife ends in bed, to be honest. But I heard a lot about the nightlife in Rwanda, and apparently there's a scene going on. And this is the moments that I say, I wish I was here 20 years ago. I could enjoy the nightlife, the wild nightlife. I do go out to bars, some bars and pubs. But
do you?
Yeah. We go to Lavana.
Oh, you've gone to Lavana before. Okay.
Yeah. Of course, we've been around. You have Kimi, generally Kimirua.
Yes,
is up and coming.
It's full of life.
It's full of life. So sometimes we go out to restaurants. The restaurants is my nightlife.
Which one is your favorite?
I like Indian food.
Okay.
So I go around it, but I also like Rwandan food a lot.
For some reason,
which Rwandan food have you tasted?
I love everything. Isombe.
Have you eaten Isombe?
Of
that turned out to be there.
Isombe. But the problem is when they see me, they're like, oh, they give me all, Western food. I said, no. I want local food. It's good. And you know what? It's not only good, it's very nutritional.
It is very nutritional.
So I like the beans and I like I like the
potatoes?
Of course, the yams. Oh my God, the yams here are great.
Yummy.
The pumpkins. And talking again, it always keeps me going, taking me to business because I immediately think about potential.
Definitely.
We can export
so
these yams.
Food. Yams are but not only yams, pineapples. We talk a lot about that. Your pineapples are heaven.
Wow.
They taste extremely.
Taste so good.
Yeah.
And they're so affordable. Mangoes. So I'm a big fan of local food, and I think if you eat local food, you stay fit because it's it's healthy.
Of all the dishes or the cuisines of the food, which one would you take to Israel, for example?
I would love to take the plantain.
Oh, the plantain.
Wow.
Plantain. Mizozu. My kids are a great fan. We always have mizozu at home. Mizozu. But I would love to take it. I don't know why we're not using bananas that way. I mean, I would love to have it back home.
I want to ask you about music.
Yes.
You talked about loving or liking Aline Sano.
Yes.
Is there any other Rwandan artist that you like?
So I just told you in the break that what I do is that I use the Shazam because I hear a song I like, and then I don't know. I mean, I'm not from here, so I Shazam it. So I just told you, like, there were a few artists I listened lately. So, yeah, I heard a song, and I loved it, called Medi by Neo.
Neo, Adrien and Medi.
Adrien, Neo.
Oh.
So I like this.
Do you sing to some of those songs at times?
I don't know how to sing. My God.
Have you learned some Kinyarwanda yet?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, which words to be specific?
Oh, well, there's the regular one, of course. So I'm drinking amazi right now. I'm drinking amazi, and I knew how to say a bottle, but of course I forgot a second ago. I keep asking how to say bottle of amazi. I know, of course, maramutse.
Ichupa yamazi.
Yes, ichupa amazi.
You know what I'm saying?
Of course, maramutse, meriwe, marakoze chane. I love your greetings, bites, good morning, hello. So greetings, I know, of course, and I'm picking words. So I'm here and there.
You say ndagukunda?
Yes. And now I learned yesterday how to say a boy, my boy.
Umuhungu.
Umuhungu.
Okay, umuhungu wawe.
Umuhungu. So we try to use that a lot now.
Does he understand that you mean
Oh,
my
he
son?
knows. My kids know better. They
Kinyarwanda than
know
you.
Kinyarwanda very, very good. I mean, not, they don't. They know many words, and they're curious, so they keep asking.
Interesting. How has living and working in Rwanda influenced your personality and professionally as a diplomat?
I think it has shaped me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Not only the position, of course, but I think, again, it has shaped me because I think Africa is happening. And you can see a lot of... It's not only Africa. If you want to understand trends, what's happening in the world, there's always a manifestation in Africa.
Yeah.
The power struggle in the world is always manifested here. If you are interested in, a little bit about what's going on right now, by and large, in the world economy, Africa is playing a big role. But also it shaped me because, I'm sitting here and I keep thinking, my God, the resemblance, what you're going through right now, your plight, your struggle sometimes also with media and your representation sometimes in international, in the global world. Also sometimes I say, it's when I'm sitting here and I see sometimes how the stories are skewed. There's a lot of things that I understand better by being here. I understand, that we all struggle somehow, and I understand that the different, it might be different setting, but eventually it's the same problems. Terror is terror. Economy, or if you want to be a leader, you will be leader, no matter what. If you want to do good, you will do good. So I see it here. It shapes me a lot, but also I think I understand better the economy of the world through Africa lens, because you understand where things are heading. So I'm very happy and I'm very pleased that I'm here, not only on a personal level. I think I've developed a lot as a human being. I also see where I need to improve more, but also I think it has opened my eyes to a bigger lens as a diplomat. And that's something that will shape me in the future too.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. What kind of Rwandan breakfast would you want to have?
Oh.
Like right about now?
Right about
Mizozo,
now.
Mizozo and...
Oh my God, I would love to have a misusu. I just need to watch my weight, but actually, if you ask me what's my favorite in the morning, beans.
Beans?
Really? Yes.
Morning?
I can have every...
beans
I know
only,
you don't hear
without
beans,
anything?
but no, I like beans in the morning, yeah.
Wow.
Beans and cabbage and all kind of weird things that only I can love. But yeah, that's something I always like to have.
Would like to say it's a huge honor for us to host you here. Thank you very much for
Thank
allowing,
you for having me.
for accepting our invitation to come through and be able to speak to us.
It's my big honor, big honor. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Regards to the twins when you return back home and the entire staff at the embassy.
Yeah, I'm coming. So we're returning home back to Israel, you mean, in 2 years.
Oh, okay.
We have time. But they've spent most of their life in Rwanda, if I think about it like
They're
that.
just Rwandans.
They're Rwandans. They love it here. And in a personal note, I can say that I think this country has helped them develop very, very nicely.
Wow.
So
That's
they're much
good.
more open-minded. They're much more independent. They're much more curious kids. So I'm very grateful for that as well.
Thank you very much.
quite
What are
amazing.
your final remarks? What would you like to tell our listeners?
I would like to say, and maybe we'll end with what I started, that I think Rwandans are people, I don't know if to say, one of the most beautiful people I've met. And thank you for being so hospitable, especially in the last 2 years that have been very difficult for me on a personal level, for my country. I felt at home here.
Oh.
And even if there's criticism, and no one is immune from criticism, and I never felt that I'm out of my game, or I felt outsider. I always feel welcome here. People here are very, very nice, And I think with the quality of people I see here, you will go places.
Thank
So
you.
I have great faith in this country and in the people, and thank you again for hosting me.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. It's been a pleasure having you here.
Thank you.
This is Kigali in the Morning, and Kigali in the Morning definitely continues. We'll take a break. This is 94.3 Royal FM.